Hey everyone, it's DrRic. I wanted to put an addendum video out because I realized the last one I did, DrRic question from Abe on exercise prescription, I didn't talk about the basics of what to look for if you're on your own. I mean, if you get a doctor to put together an exercise prescription for you, you're fine. I think that's what the video is mostly about, that there is a concept and you can do it if you find the right person. Whether it's a doctor, personal coach, yoga instructor, martial arts instructor. So, duration, intensity, interval, timing, those are the basics. If you can't find anyone and you're on your own, then I'd say I like to modify the American Heart Association suggestions. Their suggestions to be healthy would be 30 minutes of moderate to intense exercise 3 days a week, or 90 minutes 1 day a week, whatever combination. But how did they come up with that? Well, most important thing is that it gives you a framework of what to shoot for. So if you're by yourself, you're starting out, you have to be careful, you have to get cleared medically, but you also might want to have that as a goal. I wouldn't do it as a goal for the first week out, not even the first month out. I'd probably shoot for that, attaining, if you're not sure about moderate to intense exercise, shoot for a heart rate that's about 60 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. And I have a video before to calculate that. And if you can sustain that during your workout, whatever it is, resistance, yoga, climbing up mountains with backpacks full of water, HIIT training, calisthenics, whatever it is, if you can just have a measurement of your heart rate, that should be good. There's a lot of monitors out there too, in case you don't know how to check for pulse at your arm, wrist, or your neck. I wouldn't do the neck one. I just do the wrist, but a lot of phones have apps now, so check it out. And another, aside from heart rate, perceived exertion is something to keep in mind. Like right now, I'm getting to the top of Mount Hoy, and I'm breathing heavy. Obviously, breathe heavy on the way up, catch my breath on the way down. But if this is my 10th lap, if I was just starting out with an exercise prescription program, I'm sure 1 to 2 laps with this kind of weight would be enough to get me short of breath. So if you can, the perceived exertion can sometimes be faked. Back in high school, Coach Wirt, he was tough on the sprinters. I was a sprinter, still am, but he would know who was dogging it. A couple of guys would just start, even with the first run, short of breath, grabbing their pant legs, and kind of wiped out already when we just started practice. That's when, now if they were doing that intentionally to get out of practice, that's fine. Well, it's not fine for the team, but who cares about them? If they were out of shape and they were grabbing their pant legs and short of breath, it makes sense. Because when you start begin an exercise routine, the heart has to become accommodated to the strain you ask it to do. The muscles and the joints have to be accommodated to the rigors of jumping, walking, hiking, incline, movement, resistance. So it's okay when you first start out to really get to maximum heart rate and or perceived exertion quickly. But the cool thing is, if you're feeding yourself a good nutrition, getting good sleep, recuperating properly before hitting the exercise again, the muscles will rebuild and prepare for the higher intensity next time. So you'll always be accommodated. So if you do have perceived exertion and maximum heart rate hit fast in your first couple weeks, that's okay. Again, you got to be cleared by a doctor, hopefully. But as you continue, you'll build up resistance, you'll build up endurance, you'll build up tolerance to lactic acid, and it'll be kind of cool. You'll feel young again, I think. So the objective, again, is 30 minutes, moderate to intense exercise, 3 days a week, 90 minutes, 1 day a week, And usually the 3 days a week would be perfect. Sometimes, in fact, I'm going to be ending my everyday exercise, sometimes twice a day exercise, because school is starting. I'll have to get my son to school, so that's going to have to nix my time off to do exercise. So I'll have to do Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and hit it hard versus every day and kind of hit max heart rate quick and go away from the gym in 30 minutes. So that changes. Again, if you have a goal, you kind of reassess every 30 to 60 days and then push again harder. A trainer and or a coach can design stuff so if you get bored, well, you won't get bored and you'll get to your goal, whatever your goal might be, without injury and effortlessly. So the last thing anybody wants to do is invest all that time, that blood, sweat, and tears, and then stop because you got bored of things or the schedule didn't match up. This is supposed to be a personal program. That's why it's important to understand who you are and then design around your schedule. But realistically speaking, I mean, if you have a goal of 20 pounds and you pick 20 years from now, that's probably too far. You're probably not going to get too much benefit. If you have 100 pounds off and you pick it as a goal in a month, that's probably unrealistic. So that's why we have to kind of know the strengths and weaknesses of your decision making, your plan, your body, and what you have available to you. Some places, when you have kids, or some places don't have proper food, food scarcity, food deserts, gym deserts, exercise deserts where you don't have anything available locally or it's too expensive to go to Lifetime Fitness. So it always has to be taken into account. Or parents, you have 3 kids, you're not going to have all the free time in the world. So sometimes we have to carve out a little niche and design something just for you. But that's why that's got to be personal. Putting your exercise routine into some of the things I see on Facebook where these young guys with scruffy beards and big muscles say, there's a secret to losing weight, and if you connect with me, I'll give you the secret. That's never going to be the issue. They probably have a good following because they have a placebo response just by looking at them and being turned on by their exercise, but it always has to be personally designed. So don't forget, be forgiving to yourself, have realistic goals, and then try to find a coach that's local to you. But always the idea is to be as healthy as you can get without hopefully getting injured. And so good question, Abe. The rest of you, if you have any comments, like I mentioned before, leave them in the, down below and I can hopefully get to them or you can share them with everybody else. Otherwise, I really appreciate you watching and I'll see you in the next clinic.